The brown cow.
This is C3, Couples Casual Conversation. I'm GregoryDeon.
And I'm DorianMarie.
And we are here to have a conversation.
What do you do when family allows religion or your relationship to come between you all? When parents choose not to have relationships with your kids or anyone in the family or vice versa, because you choose to have a different faith or no faith at all, or you choose to be with someone that they would rather you not be with.
I think that parents in general just should love their kids regardless of whatever decision that they choose to make. Whether it's being with someone they don't approve of or, not believing in the same religion or not believing in any religion for that matter. I think that those become barriers with parents versus, because they've taught their kids to be a certain way.
Yeah.
They've conditioned their kids to believe in certain things. But when when the child becomes an adult, that child is capable of making their own decisions or changing some of the things that they used to do that they were taught by their parents.
Right.
I don't think making a change in what you believe or making a change in who you want to be with is a drastic decision to the point where you have to segregate yourself from your child because they choose to do something different than what you would want them to do. I think it all just reveals on how some parents can be, inconspicuously controlling.
That's what it comes down to. We were on live and a lady presented her situation and it made us think of this topic about how the mother-in-law comes in and starts crying and, manipulating through tears because her and her husband choose to have, a different relationship. She's agnostic. And he's still Baptist. And then the mother-in-law, his mother comes in, saying all these things. But where is the love when we have grown adults, parents out here throwing little tantrums like children? Well, if you don't believe what we believe and if you're not going to be with the type of person we want you to be with, then they don't talk to you. And then they act funny. They don't come around. To me, especially when they call themselves Christians.
The simple fact that they call themselves parents is not a good look.
Ooh.
It has nothing to do with your belief, your religion, your stance. Like, you're a parent.
Right.
And that's your child.
Come on.
And nothing should ever, regardless of what it is, should come between you and your child. The only thing that can come between you and your child is death. That's it.
Right.
Because, we both have children.
Right.
We don't have any children together.
Right.
And we have children outside from other relationships.
Right.
But even I feel the same way with your kids.
Right.
No, they're not my biological kids, but there's nothing that's going to come between the bond that I've, built with her children. And now they're my children. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't get how some parents allow things to just come in and separate. You might not like the situation. Yeah, you might prefer that your child be with this person or believe in this and do these different things. But, if that child is taking care of themselves, that child is healthy, that child is of sound mind and is making decisions as a grown adult can make, what's the problem?
Right. For example, my son, if he came to me and he said, Mom, I don't want to believe in any type of God. I believe in grass. I'm going to worship grass. When I go to his house, I'm going to sit on his couch with his grass, with my son, because I spent 9 months carrying this child.
Right.
And these parents are out here acting like their children have sliced and diced somebody 50,000 times and ate them. And now we just not. But really, it's just, I choose not to be with this person, or I choose to be Baptist now. I choose not to believe in God at all. But I could never do that with my child because I love my child.
Yeah, I don't see any righteousness in sacrificing the relationship with your child because of a belief system. Or that child not doing exactly what you want them to do anymore. And I'm saying child, but like we're dealing with adults here.
Yeah.
Like, you talking about children that are now adults and their parents are having toddler fits because that adult child that used to be a child does not yield to their every request.
Come on.
Does not yield every time they suggest that you want to do something that you don't do something that they suggest that you do. You know, I wear my own t-shirt, I wear my own jackets, and I don't wear other people's shoes. I don't wear their t-shirts of suggestions or their jackets of advice. I wear my own clothes, you know, and my feet don't hurt when I wear my own shoes, but when I try to walk around in yours, I find myself walking funny.
And you know, some parents too will feel entitled to tell you what to do, even as an adult, because they carried you or they, you know, planted the seed or they gave birth to you, and they feel like their opinion is law. Because I'm your mama, I'm your daddy, I'm your auntie, I'm your grandmother that raised you, or I'm your mother-in-law, such as the lady in the TikTok live.
Yeah, so when bills start coming to my house in my name, that's when I really just started paying more attention to how I felt about the decisions that I made versus someone else's.
Right. And where is the love? When your child, as a grown adult, chooses to do what does that have to do with you loving me? And when they say, oh, I love you, you just ain't doing right. What does that have to do with anything?
Like doing right by whose standard, though? Like, you know, as adults, we are held accountable for our own decisions, not the decisions that we make based on somebody else's merit. Like, where does that come from?
Right. And then when you do bring it back to the Christians, I always bring up the prodigal son story. Like, even when he wanted to go do whatever he wanted to do.
Right.
The father did not stop loving him. I mean, the boy was away, but even when he came back, it was all good. It wasn't like, well, you're going to go to hell. Well, if you don't do this, well, I know. It was none of that. None of that.
For sure. The thing I like about that story, like the dad was out there looking for him every day. And I imagine if during that time they had cell phones. Yeah. He probably would have been reaching out to his son. And, you know, just saying, hey, son, this is dad. Right. Even though he might not even answer this phone, just say, hey, son, this is dad. Just thinking about you. I'll holler at you later. Or I'm waiting for you to come home. Right.
And back in the day, I know my mom and all the aunties and all of that would be like, you don't call. I'm like, the phone works both ways.
Both ways.
Just because people are older does not mean we're all humans.
I mean, yeah, I absolutely agree. You know, and then just to piggyback the last part of that story, when the son came home, the dad was excited. Yeah. He was excited to see his son.
And didn't care who he had been with, where he had been, none of that.
Yeah, because he just was more so excited that his son was safe.
Right.
He was alive.
Come on.
You know, happy and all the things, and then he rewarded him with a robe, with a ring, you know, just to signify, like, regardless of the decision that you made, son, dad is gonna always be dad. Right. You know, parents should always be parents and stop beating their kids upside the head with the control stick just because they choose to make different decisions than you made in your lifetime. Right.
And so with the lady in the TikTok, the mother-in-law was just buttoning, instead of just saying, you know what, daughter-in-law, whatever you choose to believe, I love you. Let's go have some lunch. Son, whatever you choose, okay, let's go hang out. I understand that. But for me, and especially when it comes to the LGBTQ community, and I'm not going to dare say what other letters because I don't want to disrespect anybody. But especially when it comes to that, a lot of parents, they're not having it. So they don't want to see their child. They don't want to be around their child. But if that was my child, I'm still going to be around my child. I'm still going to hang around my child. And if they bring their person, I want to be with my child. Right. My child needs to know that I'll be there forever and ever.
Yeah, you know, I want my child to have 100% confidence that regardless of the decisions that they make, dad's going to always be there for them. Now, of course, you know, everybody makes, you know, choices that doesn't necessarily pan out in their favor, and that's all learning experience. Correct. You know, those are all things that we all are going to go through and experience in our lives. But you know, as far as me just saying, well, I'm not talking to my son anymore, that's ludicrous.
Exactly, because we're all
humans. Ain't no way.
Ain't
no way. My son could make 1 trillion mistakes. Right. If he pick up that phone and say, Daddy, I need you, I'm there.
Right. I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer's mama, she was there.
Yeah, she was there, and she knew what the man what his interests were.
Right, where his interests lied. And that's the thing. We're humans, and we're all here on our own path and our own journey. And family members need to understand that it may not be in alignment with what you think. But if my son chose to do a certain thing, he's here. I did my 18 years with him. I did legally what I was supposed to do as a parent to raise him and train him up and teach him. What happens after that, he'll have to deal with whatever consequences of his choices. But that does not have anything to do with my love for him and being there for him and even hanging out with him and being around him.
I truly think that the mistake that a lot of parents make is they're trying to force their understanding of why their now adult child made the decisions that they made.
Come on.
And as a parent, my kids, yes, they are young. Her kids are much older, but sometimes I find it better not to understand everything and just be there when they need me. Sometimes I think, especially with parents that have adult children, you don't have to understand.
Right.
It's not even your place to understand. Right. It's your place just to be a mom or a dad. We all, children and their parents, they grow up in different eras. They grow up in different times. There are different distractions. There's just different ways of things that are done. And it's not really for you to understand it all.
Right.
And one thing that I think that most parents have a great understanding of is that that's my child.
Come on.
And I'm going to love them, and I'm going to express it with my words and with my actions. The moment you stop doing that, that's how communication, that's how the relationship goes left and right, goes north and south. Because as you said just a moment ago, where's the love?
Where's the love?
Where is it?
So you bring up the point that they have a lack of understanding that it doesn't matter what my child does or does not do. I'm supposed to love them and show them that love with actions, not just words, forgetting that they themselves made decisions back in the day that their parents didn't agree with. And my son is autistic. He's been on my channel. Everybody knows that. And he has a particular way to dress, right? But he's about to be 21. And we have both mentioned some things like, okay, that's the choice you're going to make today.
Right.
Okay. But at the end of the day, even if we voice it, which he's open to, he makes his decision at the end of the day. And there were times he'll go right back upstairs and change. And then there are times he's like, no, this is what I like. This is what I want.
Right.
Because he has to have specific textures and specific colors with the way that he thinks. And we have to honor that.
Honor it every single time.
Right. Even though
it took a little bit for me to get used to it because, I'm Fashion Nova.
Yes, he is. This is his luxury line right here. He's going to present that to the world soon too.
Yeah. So, when he would come down and I would, look, and then he was confident in what he had on. And I had to literally just
say,
shut up, Dion, and just let Jaden be Jaden.
Correct. No, that's fine. Yeah, everybody knows Jaden. Yeah, everybody knows him. We've done videos together.
Yeah, I just let Jaden be Jaden. And it works out great. I didn't try to understand it. I'm not trying to figure it out. If he comes to ask for some fashion tips, I got him. But other than that, I'm going to let that young man be who he wants to be and make whatever decision he wants to make. And I'm not going to judge him for it and say, well, Jaden, if you can't wear a different kind of shirt, you can't ride.
You can't come with us. You can't be around us. And if he wants to wear a certain color repeatedly over and over, because that is something that happens with autistic children, they will get, honed in on something. They'll stick to it for a long time. And he had to, I had to just say this, let the boy live.
Yeah, I think we run into a lot of, issues with parents, and I'm confident to say that, that are become very, very religious or that are involved in religious beliefs and practices of that sort because, like say for instance, like the religion I just came out of, I'm fully deconstructed now. But, I think about how that father treated his son. And then I think about how people treat us based off of that same belief.
Right.
That religion says, I'm going to give you free will to serve me. But if you don't, Fire and brimstone. That's from a father to their children. I can't get with that.
Wow. Don't
understand it. It blows my mind to think that a father would give their children the catch-22 because you won't do what I want you to do. But you're a grown I don't get it.
And on that note, this is our couples page, but I will add this to my deconstruction page because I know a lot of people over there are dealing with family members treating them a certain kind of way because they choose to deconstruct religion and deconstruct their faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to put it on that page. And on that note, it is cold outside. So therefore, you should get one of my beanies, finish it, to put on your head. It is a spinoff from my book, Finish It, right? And there's a whole clothing line of Finish It. Hoodies, what do you call the ones with the sweaters, all the things, Finish It. Mm-hmm. To remind you to finish what you have started or to encourage you to start something so that you can finish it. It is on my website, IamDorian.com. And he's going to be presenting his line, luxury line, really soon to the world. So be looking for that.
Be looking for it. And it'll be some hoodies and some sweatshirts to keep it nice and cozy.
And look here. See, we love our child. No matter what he looks like.
No matter. Even if his hat ain't all the way on his head, we still gonna love him.
Right. He don't have a body or nothing, but we just gonna embrace him no matter what.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like that. This is Couples Casual Conversation. I'm GregoryDeon.
I'm DorianMarie.
And we'll see y'all next time.
Good, you got it this time.
I did. Medicine Dion.
Yes. Yes, that's what it is. Oh, and this is going to be featured in the music video that is coming out.
That's right.
You're going to see this again in the music video.
Yeah, we do it all.
All him.
We do it all.
That's right. Get over to the website, IamDorian.com. We got shirts. We got hoodies. We got beanies. We got cards. We got booklets.
And we have love.
Oh, we have music too.